G'day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Roo, and welcome back to another FPL video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a few transfer tips to help you navigate the next few weeks, some blank game week and double game week talk, and then look at who is the best players to bring in from a certain team with a seagull badge, and a few more things. But yeah, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll release a couple of videos, two to three videos a week. So all about FPLs to help you kind of win your mini leagues and climb them ranks. Also, if you wouldn't mind just liking this video, it really helps out the video and helps out the channel. So before we start the video, I'm actually wearing the green and gold of the Socceroos as tribute to my name, and yeah, as I'm currently in Australia, so yeah, supporting them and supporting them throughout the World Cup as well. Obviously, I'm English, as you can probably tell by the accent, but yeah, gotta support the country you're living in as well as your home country. So we'll start off by talking about kind of probably the biggest topic around the community at the moment is it best to kind of roll a transfer in game week 21? So the reason a lot of people are thinking about doing this is because we will know more about the blanks and double game weeks in between game week 21 and game week 22 deadline, as the game week 22 deadline is in February because of the FA Cup basically round, and we'll also have two League Cup semi-finals, so we'll know who will be in the final and know who will blank in game week 25. We'll also have a better idea of who will blank in game week 28. So the teams that get through the FA Cup, we'll know what fixtures they have, if they have a lower league opposition, so if they're more likely to kind of go through. For example, you could have so you've got Chelsea v Arsenal in this next round. So that means Man City v Arsenal in the next round. So that means one of Man City or Arsenal will be out. So whoever they play, if they're out as well, that means they won't blank. But we'll know all of that. We'll know more in between game week 21 and 22. And we'll have confirmation of the blanks and a few double game weeks as well. So definitely, if you can, it's great to roll the transfer, as like I said, we'll have much more information in right before game week 22. Although I've just said it's probably best to roll a transfer if you can, some people kind of don't have that luxury and they need to get out players, and some of the players that they are looking to get in are Brighton kind of forwards and midfielders. So we're going to just quickly take a look at a few options who I think are the best options for Brighton currently, as they're on fire. They battered Liverpool 3-0 the other day, and they're playing some really, really good football with a lot of cheap players scoring massive points. So first up, we'll just quickly go through their fixtures. So they do have Leicester away in game week 21, and then Bournemouth at home in game week 22. Game week 23 sees them travel to Selhurst Park to face Palace. Game week 24, they're at home to Fulham. And game week 25, they're playing Newcastle away. But it does have an asterisk against it, as there is a possibility for that game week to be a blank for Brighton. And I'll go into that a little bit later on. But game week 26, they have West Ham at home. So really, really great fixtures. Some good home games as well, and good away games. The toughest game is that Newcastle game where they potentially might blank anyway. So if they do blank, you're probably not missing out on many points. But yeah, we'll go through the options. So first up is Solly March. So he is down as a midfielder, coming in at 5.1 million, and is only 2.4% owned. He's returned 6 in the last 4, getting 45 points, which is literally like incredible. If you kind of do the maths, it's just over 11 points per game, which is basically 4 double-digit hauls in the last 4 games, if you want to count that as that. Obviously, they didn't all happen in a row, but yeah, like one of them was 19 points, for instance. Also, you got Mitoma, only 3 and 3, but he does look really, really good when you're watching him play. The tricky winger is actually down as a midfielder, 4.9 million and only 1.4% owned. So if you're looking for someone to basically, you can upgrade Andreas you've got Mitoma there as an option for only a point three, depending on when you bought Andreas in, but 0.3, 0.4 million more. And yeah, great fixtures. You probably want to start him a lot of the time. And March, yeah, is just that little bit cheaper. In terms of forward, Ferguson has been doing really, really well recently. So 4 returns in the last 3, and only 2 of them has been starts. So he comes in at 4.5 million, which is great as basically your bench striker. If you've got Greenwood, and Ferguson does look really, really good, coming in at 1.3% owned too. The only thing with Ferguson is Welbeck is back from injury, so you're not too sure how many minutes he will get, but it does look like he is in favour at the moment, and he will start most games, and maybe Welbeck can drop wide or drop a bit in behind, because Ferguson does look really, really good. But like I said at the beginning of this section, that there are potential blanks for Brighton. So Brighton, Brentford, Man United and Newcastle are just some of the main teams that will potentially blank. So as Man United and Newcastle are the favourites to go through in the semi-finals of the League Cup, so they face Nottingham Forest. So Man United face Nottingham Forest and Newcastle face Southampton. So let's assume they go through, then these 4 teams will blank in that game week 25. However, there is a possibility of the fixture move into game week 22. But this is why I say this, because if you can, definitely roll the transfer, as we'll know more in between game week 21 and game week 22. But yeah, so there's possibility of a double game week 2, but possibility of a blank if that does happen. Yeah, but we'll know more in between the game weeks 21 and 22 deadline. So next up, we're going to talk about some of the most popular transfers in and out. So we'll start off with Ivan Toney, who's had 245,000 transfers in. So the player was injured in the last game week when Brentford did beat Liverpool 3-1, but he's come back and he's got, amazing, got that penalty, and he's always potent from the penalty spot. So there's no worries like you would with Mitrovic. So he's got 13 goals and 3 assists this season, with 6 returns in his last 4. So we'll just quickly look at his fixtures. So Leeds away, Southampton at home, Arsenal away, Crystal Palace at home, Man United away, which does have an asterisk next to it, and Fulham at home. So again, that United fixture is the possibility of a blank in game week 25. So, but with that, there is also a possibility of a double game week in game week 22. And like I said, yeah, we'll know more in between the game week 21 and 22 deadline. So yeah, maybe it's worth holding off for Toney. There is also a chance that he could get suspended because of the allegations made against him for betting. But yeah, he has been on fire this season, and at 7.5 million, and relatively, he's not really that owned. So 22.8%. It's not template, and he's still a good kind of, not differential, but it's still not a player that everyone has, say like Trippier or even someone like Martinelli. So yeah, I'd probably wait with Toney, because you don't want to get him in and then he gets suspended and then you're kind of wasted a transfer. But at the same time, he's still bagging goals, and it's going to be hard to ignore him soon enough. We just really want that news to see if he will be suspended, and especially with Bournemouth blank, so you're kind of potentially guaranteeing, if that makes sense, a blank in game week 25. Combine that with the betting allegations and the potential suspension, it's probably not worth bringing him in for me. So now looking at one of the most transferred out players for this game week. So with 150,000 transfers out, it is Trossard. I actually did take him out the last game week. So really thankful for that, because I'm sure he will drop down more in price. I did buy him at 7.1 million with my limited transfers post World Cup, and I had to sell him at 6.8. So yeah, not the best. The reason he is probably the most transferred player out is because he's fell out of favour with the manager. There's been some issues kind of post World Cup that they've said that he may not have come back with the same attitude / Brighton are probably looking to sell him now, as his contract does run out at the end of the season anyway. So yeah, he'll probably be looking for a new club in this January transfer window. So won't be playing for Brighton probably ever again. So if you are a Trossard owner and you are looking for replacements, then if you don't have Marcus Rashford, then that's the obvious option. Coming in at only 0.3 million more. He has got 5 attacking returns in the last 4. And yeah, he's just on fire. He's highly owned, so you'll probably already own him at 44.1%. So yeah, if you don't, definitely get in Rashford. With fixtures, he has got a tough one against Arsenal next, but he has got Palace, Leeds, and then Leicester with a potential double game week in game week 22. But don't forget, there is a potential for a blank as well in game week 25. So yeah, you kind of give and take with that one. Another option is Martin Ødegaard, coming in at 6.8 million midfielder. Only 26% owned, because a lot of people have got Martinelli and Saka, and then maybe Ben White and Nketiah. So almost a differential. And he's literally been on fire kind of the last game of the World Cup, and then since the World Cup, post-World Cup games. So 7 attacking returns in 5, which is incredible, as he's not a winger or really a number 10. He's kind of that attacking 8 almost. And with good, pretty good fixtures. Man United at home, Everton away, and then a double game week with Brentford at home and City at home, which is tough, but it is 2 home games. And Villa away. So definitely a good option, and you don't need to find that 0.3 million more like Rashford, because I'm sure a lot of you have definitely got Rashford. But yeah, if you're looking for that third Arsenal player, then definitely Martin Ødegaard is a great option. So make sure you leave me a comment below. Who do you think is the best Brighton asset, best Trossard replacement, and will you be rolling a transfer this week? Yeah, make sure you leave a comment below. And also, if you are new around here, please make sure you subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And I know a lot of you that watch and not subscribe. So yeah, it would mean a lot to the channel. And it means you get to stay up to date with all the latest fantasy Premier League tips for the coming season. And yeah, give this video a like too while you're at it. Cheers.